Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you in this video something that a lot of people actually don't understand properly, and that's the difference between durability and actual armor inside of Ark Survival Ascended. So there are 4 stats that are changed when you're actually looking at your armor. There's armor, durability, cold resist, and heat resist. So I'm going to explain what they do and why actually armor is the least valuable of all 4 of those. I'm going to show you how to fix that in just a second here. Now, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and consider subbing to the channel. I'm getting super close to 100K, and that's been my dream all along, like insanely close. But anyways, let's go and go further. So you can see that I've done a video in the past about all 8 different sets of armor. However, if you go into your armor, right, and you're looking for the best possible armor, wow, I can't speak very well, you can craft a couple different pieces of armor. So I'm going to go ahead and craft some right now, right? And you're going to see that there are different armor settings. Sometimes people, instead of actually focusing on the important stat, they look at the armor and determine whether something is good or not. So if I was to look at all of these pieces right here, right, I'm going to see this one and be like, wow, that's got the most armor, that must be the best piece. That's actually wrong. This is the worst piece of all 4 of those armor sets. And the reason is simply durability. Now, durability, if you look on this one, you can kind of see the durability is at 254. Now, a 254 Dura is absolutely trash. Even though this is going to have the highest armor to prevent you from taking damage from 1 to maybe 2 hits, that armor piece is going to break, and you're going to need to put a brand new armor piece on. Now, the most important stat when it comes to armor is actually the durability. So even though this one right here looks like it's slightly better than the one next to it, this is actually the best armor piece here with 2086 durability. Even though it has less armor, it means it's going to take a few hundred hits for this armor to break, or at least 10 times as many hits as this one. Now, just to tell you what that means, right? So if I have a long neck, for example, and I walk over to this guy with the ride armor on and I shoot him, right? He takes a total of 28 damage. Now, that's not actually what he's taking damage-wise, though, because that is a reduction in damage based upon the actual piece of armor that blocked it, right? So that is 115 armor on it. However, if I shoot normally, what's going to happen is I am actually going to do 279 damage. Now, though that seems like it's something that is a big difference, what happens is every 16 damage that is taken by an armor piece, it costs you 1 durability. So in order to figure out how much damage you can actually take using this specific flak piece, you could look at 254 times 16. I'm just going to do a ballpark guess in my head, right? So that means you could take about 20, let's call it, actually, let's be fair, let's say 4,000 total damage. You can take 4,000 total damage with this Ascendant chest piece. Whereas with this one, because it's 2,000 times 16, you're going to be able to take like it's not even close, about 40,000 damage. So 10 times the amount of damage that you can take, because every piece of thing that does damage to you costs you durability. So if I was to shoot you and it absorbs that damage, the armor is going to reduce the amount of damage taken, but the durability is what's actually going to go down. So the best armor rating that you can possibly have is something with high durability and okay armor. You don't need very high armor, you just need a really good durability. Now let's give you another example, right? So you can actually see that these two are identical. You've got 2086 durability and 2086 durability here. In this case, yes, this one is actually better because their durabilities are the same. Now I'm looking for the armor stat. So even though this one is much cheaper to make, probably because it's only 192 armor, this one being at 1410 with 2086 and this one being at 192 with 2086 durability, this is a much better overall armor piece because you're going to be able to take the same amount of hits but less damage overall. So essentially how it gets rated is durability goes down 1 point per 16 points of damage you take. And the amount of damage you actually take incoming from that is affected by the armor stat. So if I have 1 armor stat on there and I take 1 damage, that armor is going to make me take 0 damage. However, if I have, let's say, 1 armor and someone does 20 damage, that means I'm going to take 19 incoming damage, and then the 1 armor is going to block that. So you want to essentially have the best overall durability, and then after you worry about durability, then go into your armor. Now, the last two things that you want to worry about actually are your heat resist and cold resist. The higher level armor you have, the more numbers those are going to get extreme, right? So my cold resist for my Ascendant Riot chest piece is actually way higher than a normal chest piece because it's going to get multiplied. And the same thing with my heat resist, it's going to be much worse off in the heat, right? You can see this one's 11.1, whereas this one is 125. So not only is this pretty much better in every way, but you want to keep an eye on your individual statistics when you're using cold and heat resistant armor, because this one I'm probably going to be able to survive without much of a problem in. This one being 125 is going to cause me major problems if I'm anywhere near something warm. So all in all, hopefully this makes sense, but the biggest thing that you're looking for when it comes to armor isn't the armor, it's the durability. Always focus on durability first, then armor, then your heat and your cold resistances. Those are the most important stats when it comes to actually getting armor. Whether you're wearing cloth or riot, they all function the exact same. Durability first, then armor. Now, the only one that gets an exclusion from that is your tech suit, because the tech suit naturally comes with 300 durability and 180 armor, so its durability is also going to be good right off the bat. However, there's a few other bonuses and stuff like that with this, so more expensive, but the same rule applies where durability is the important piece, because you want to be able to tank more hits, and it doesn't matter if you can't tank more hits. So like some people are like, well, your armor's better on one piece. Yeah, great. In Ark, you're going to get bit more than one time. If you only get bit one time, yeah, I would care more about armor, but usually you're going to get bit 10, 15, 20 times, and you need to be able to tank all of those hits, especially when it comes to something like a Giganotosaurus or anything like that. So hopefully this video helps you out. And if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and consider subbing to the channel. All right, other than that, teach.
Yeah.